Okay, good afternoon. Good morning, respected chief guest, Dr. Sanjay Sawant sir, Pawar sir, Principal Pune College of Pharmacy, our alumni Anand Mote sir and Aroha Joshi will be talking today. So I welcome you all and the students of Pune College of Pharmacy. I welcome you all for the day 3 of our refresher program, which is basically organized for the students to know the different job opportunities that are available after BPharm. Okay. So today, for the inaugural talk of this session, we have with us Dr. Sanjay Sawant sir. Sir is presently working as principal and professor of pharmaceutical chemistry and has more than 30 years of experience in teaching, industry, research and administration with leadership qualities. His current interest includes DPPI-4 inhibitors in type 2 diabetes, forced degradation studies of APIs, and herbal product development. His contribution to research includes successful completion of several research and consultancy projects funded by industry, university, and Indian Council of Medical Research, that is ICMR. He has more than 65 publications in peer-reviewed journals, 20 textbooks, and 1 book chapter to his credit. So far, 8 PhD and 26 MPharm students have been awarded degrees under his able guidance. He has played pivotal role in developing 3 pharmacy institutes and 1 startup pharmaceutical company in their early years of establishment. During his tenure in industry, he was instrumental in design, development, and commercialization of 17 Ayurvedic and allopathic products in different pack sizes and dosage forms. With judicious approach as a principal, he has been instrumental in instituting several students and faculty development initiatives that has led him to be popular among students and faculty. I welcome you, sir. And most importantly, sir is alumni of our PCP. He did his MPharm and PhD in 2002. I welcome you, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Sharvil, for the introduction. I hope I am audible.
Yes, you are, sir.
Okay. Dr. Atmaram Pawar, the principal of the Pune College of Pharmacy, Dr. Sharvil Patil, most of the colleagues in PCP, and dear students. I think, first of all, I must congratulate and thank also to Dr. Pawar and Dr. Patil for 2 things. One, that conducting such kind of a refresher kind of a course for third year, final year students. It is a little unique concept, I would say. I hope you must have also undergone the induction program when you took admission to first year of your BPharm or PharmD program, and must have been mentored in last 2 years. Of course, 1.5 years has gone into the pandemic. You were not on the campus and you were isolated and took the online classes. I personally believe that students learn equally from their peers, like they learn from the teachers, and therefore offline mode of education is very, very essential because it imbibes many qualities. And it is good news that from Monday the colleges are now open for offline teaching. So that's good news that I feel that I must you all must have been excited now to be in the campus. Anyways, I'll not talk much. I'll try to make the points rather than talking so many things. And I would like to, I don't know how far we would be able to make this conversation interactive, but if it is possible, we'll try to make it little. I hope you must have realized by this term, by after the 2 years, what is the purpose of education? Or at least some of you must have asked this question to yourself: why I'm taking this education? Why I'm taking this BPharm? Or probably your teachers must have mentored you in last 2 years that what is purpose of your education in PCP or undertaking this BPharm or PharmD program. If not, I think it's high time now you should really focus on it. Of course, 99% of the students would, sorry.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Someone muted me. Anyways, it's high time that one should ask these questions. I'm sure 99% of students would certainly ask this question, and probably would find answer in with one single answer, first and foremost, and that is, you need to get a good job, you need to have a good life, and you need to be independent, and that is very much true. However, the purpose of education doesn't end with the getting you a job or providing the jobs to the others and getting your life well settled. The purpose of education, the very fundamental thing is that we should be a good human. And that is one of the reasons that with the new education policy, it emphasizes a lot of things on humanities, and the universities and the research projects which are going to come, like stride kind of a scheme, which is emphasizing a lot and funding a lot, because no matter what best medicines we develop and bring it to the society, of course we heal the patients and relieve the pain of the society. However, other kinds of the technology that we develop and anything that we create, it has to end with the serve the humanity. And therefore I personally feel, and even Mahatma Gandhi also said the purpose of education, Jawaharlal Nehru also said the purpose of education is to be a good human. I think keeping this in mind, I would suggest you some of the things that in third year and final year BPharm level, you must always remember and complete your course and further move on higher education or making your career. I hope you must have this term outcome-based education, and something like program outcomes and something like graduate attributes. I just would like to remind some of you, if you are not aware, that there are 5 main uh, graduate attributes, or POs we call, program outcomes we call. And out of this 12 POs, the 5 POs are, or graduate attributes are uh, domain specific, like pharmacy knowledge, application of pharmacy knowledge, ability of to convert the knowledge into the products, and so many others. And general are almost 6 to 7, and one of them is the ethics, communication, lifelong learner, and all those. So the recent and then current education systems through NBA, through NAC, and several other bodies tries to see that these graduate attributes are imbibed amongst the graduates coming out from the universities and the colleges. So with this background, I would make 4, 5, 6 to 7 points, and quickly, maybe in next 20 minutes or so, I would take we'll leave it to the others for students. First of all, if you are in, since you are in third year and final year, those who have passed BPharm or PharmD, and were shortlisted for some of the campus interviews, you can ask them. Some of them will definitely will tell you that my pointer was little less, and therefore I was not shortlisted for interview of say Pfizer, or say for Alchem, or for Unichem, or several other pharma companies, and I just missed by zero point 0.1. I just missed by 1%. I just missed by 0.5. And then we realize how important the marks during your undergraduate program is. And that is why I would suggest you to be always be in touch with your seniors, be connected. And that is one of the reason that why alumni are contributing and are being invited for such kind of talks. So point I'm trying to tell you is that since you have got 4 years of your course, you must stay invested in terms of your time, in terms of your hard work, your intelligence, and try to see that you get best of it. And then best of the opportunities comes only when you have gained a certain knowledge that is, or skills which are required for the uh, uh, for either higher education or for getting your job. So I'm not saying that you all must get 90% of marks and 85% of marks. No, I'm not of that favor. However, you should have a reasonably good marks, which I normally call above 70% of marks these days. And this is good enough for you to get you best of the best opportunities. Second, I would say this is possible. There are several things which are possible through very disciplined life. One has to be very disciplined, and discipline is in terms of several things. Discipline could be when getting early in the early from your bed and getting ready for your classes, attending all classes, all practicals in time. Probably you would say, this was told by us by our own teachers. So what new things you are telling me? I'm telling you from the perspective of those who have graduated, and they have, some of them have missed the job opportunities, and they have realized that these kind of things we were lacking, and therefore we miss some certain opportunities. And that is the reason that I'm here to sensitize you and rather a little remind you on these aspects. So along with the disciplined life, the smart work and hard work is key to success. Next comes is your attitude, and that has to be very, very positive. That has to be cooperative. That has to be helpful. That has to be very happy and smiling in nature, and that solves several problems. Rather, a positive attitude can only bring you achieve your goals in life, no matter how many hurdles you have, how difficult the situation probably could be, or what kind of challenges you are facing. I think that is the only way that you can conquer the challenges and you can overcome the challenges and move ahead in the life. Only positive attitude in your personal life also and in professional life also can lead you to success. The third point I would like to make you, while since you are being mentored by many PCP alumni and they are sensitizing you on several job opportunities, I am not going to talk on much conventional job opportunities. I would only touch to the points because pharmacy is such a course which is the amalgamation of basic sciences, pharmaceutical technology, to some extent certain medical science subjects of medical sciences, and computing sciences. So it is like multidisciplinary kind of a thing, and therefore the pharmacy graduates could be jack of all and can grab all allied job opportunities and business opportunities, trade opportunities of the health sector. Now, what are those? Like medical devices. Medical devices, India basically produce very less medical devices. We have been almost 80-90% we are dependent on the import of medical devices. Government of India is promoting a lot of things on medical devices. I think in Nagpur there is separate SEZ has been developed, has been sanctioned by the Government of India for medical devices. You probably know that few medical devices have already been covered under the definition of drug and need to meet the requirements of Drug and Cosmetic Act as a drug. And I'm sure in years to come, several medical devices will also be brought under the definition of drug. And therefore, there is huge opportunity in design, development, manufacturing, quality assurance, software development for medical devices, distribution and sell. And this is one of the sure kind of opportunity I feel you all must explore and start thinking towards this direction. There are several things in computing sciences which are coming, like artificial intelligence, 3D printing, machine learning, and these fields have left no field that cannot be conquered. And healthcare or pharma development, pharma business development, pharma manufacturing is also not exception to it. So my suggestion to you all would be, though this is little off the track that you might feel today, but this is the area in next 20 years, in 30 years, would grow to the higher level. And you are the one, because in our, those who are teachers in the colleges or those who have already passed out 5-10 years before, probably these people are not the right people for this futuristic industry. And you are the right people which can be molded for this industry. And I'm sure you can do wonderful career in applications of machine learning, applications of 3D printing, applications of artificial intelligence in 3 core sectors of profession. Any profession that we say, there are 3 major sectors. One is a manufacturing, second is a trade, and third is a services. So whatever you feel, whatever competence, skill that you feel that you can develop and explore, you can certainly explore these 3 sectors using the applications of these emerging technologies. I often ask this question to many students, and then I don't get much encouraging answers. And that question is, do you read newspapers? Often I ask this question, and my experience is that hardly I come to know that around 15 to 20% of the students read the newspapers. And that is one of the reason probably you are not much well kept abreast with the coming developments, the economical developments, the happenings all over the world. And if this is missing, probably we are missing ourselves in sensitizing ourselves, orienting ourselves, and trying to catch up the right job opportunities of the future. So my advice would be to read newspapers like Times of India, Economics Times of India, or P2P journals, pharma, like Pharma Biz. And you don't have to, these days, you don't have to purchase any newspaper. You have a smartphone with you, and you just download the apps, and you'll be able to read these news. And I'm sure after a year or 2, I'm sure many of you would be able to find the right career path for yourselves through the kind of happenings in this area. Next point, which is little different, and I'm sure some of you must be practicing, your brothers or sister or anybody in the family must have been also practicing. But for those who are not practicing, for them, my suggestion would be is to learn share trading, share market, or stock market. Since the India is growing, you can see 10 years back the kind of index And then the today's stock index, you can check, there's a huge increase in it. It will continue to be. And the kind of money that you would earn over a period of time through your profession, probably you will make that money to earn additional money for yourself. We teachers have, most of us have not been, except few exceptions. I think we have not been so smart in doing it so, but the next generation is really smart in this direction, and I am sure you should explore this area, make your life career, supported financially independently through this area. It is not only making money. I look at it from different angle. I look at it, because since stock prices are dependent on several factors, and only those who are extremely doing well and have futuristic growth, their stock value increases, share prices increases, and through the process you understand the business, not only one pharma business, but you understand the various businesses across the globe and in India too. And that helps you make your understanding far better than those who are not much aware about the stock prices and have less understanding about it. My next point I would be making is that one has to be extremely good in the communication. I'm not saying communication means only restricted to that I'm able to speak good English. Otherwise, you don't have to, if you are a convent educated student, if you have been in English medium school, you can, very easily you can speak good English. That is not a problem. But I'm not talking about only communication restricted to only speaking abilities in English or any other language for that matter. When I'm saying communication, is that you have extremely good writing skills. You develop good handwriting too, although handwriting is these days is like largely which is missed, but good handwriting is nothing but a good disciplined and organized person. So often when I take the interviews of our teachers and I ask them, I ask them to write whatever they come to their mind on a piece of a paper. So that this helps me understand first what is going on in the mind of a teacher when he is giving an interview. Second, when I read what they have written, I also understand and know whether he or she has got good handwriting skills. And good handwriting skills also reflect whether a person is organized or not much organized. So there are different ways to know whether to identify, to know whether a person is well organized or not. So you may be asked by this way and to write on the piece of paper, but then purpose was to understand whether you are organized or not well organized. So the point I'm trying to make you is that these kind of qualities are reflected in some or other way and are captured through different parameters when you try to look for a job. Communication is also not restricted to it. Is abstract thinking, comprehension, and your body language. If you are very positive, if you are very respectful to the others, it is reflected through your body language, your body signs, and your way of talking, whether you are arrogant or you are really not arrogant. So all these things are reflected through communication, and I think you must focus a lot on the communication skills. There are many programs now, MOOCs online, massive online MOOCs, online courses are available. You can browse to the Swayam portal, and there are hundreds of programs, MOOCs programs are available. You don't have to also dependent on a college for communication skills. However, I would request the principal and the other concerned faculty members to focus more on those really require the communication skills, because that is the only common factor. Whether you go for higher education, you go for industry job, or any other job, whether it's trade or manufacturing or service sector, anywhere, communication is the skill. And often many students miss the job opportunities when they are being hired for the jobs in say pharmacovigilance and other, say, clinical trial data management kind of services, which are the often the jobs in the offices. So my point is to point I'm trying to emphasize is the communication. Next is the good interpersonal skills or the relations. Often we are good at skills and competence and knowledge, and we do better as an individual. However, do we do good when we are in a team? That matters a lot, and that one can join. I mean, one can realize only when you start working in a team. And to have a good team, you need to have a good interpersonal skills and relations, for which you need to be humble, you need to be respectful for others' views, and good interpersonal skills can certainly help you get the promotions in your jobs, can help you keep you in demand amongst the your other colleagues. It helps you in bringing the good leadership qualities. I think sorry. So these are some of the keys I feel, I mean, important points that you should always remember when you are in third and final year, because third and final year are really going to be very, very formative years for preparing yourself for the career. In PG, you hardly get 2 years of time, and you are more focused on your research work, your project work, and you don't get enough time to develop yourself for the careers. So those who are looking for postgraduates studies should also should think that these are 2 years actually you are going to develop yourself and prepare for your career. The last and important point that I would feel, I feel that I should certainly make is the ethics and ethical thinking. No matter what best we are in terms of knowledge, in terms of competence, in terms of skill, I think the one of the major goals of education, purposes of education, is to have ethical behavior. And that is why if you see the pharmacist oath that Pharmacy Council of India has designed, and this pharmacist oath you will be given at the end of final year B.Pharm, when you will be graduating. It emphasizes a lot on the ethical part of it. So we must always remember, whether we are a teacher in our career, or you are a manufacturing a pharmacist, or in QA, or in distribution, or in sales, or in pharmacovigilance, or in medical devices, or any other any facet of the profession, I think we should never compromise with the ethical aspects. And this is actually going to keep you ahead. There are a lot of laws which are coming up, stringent laws are coming up, and those laws are there to catch up something which is irrational, something which is unethical, something which is unlawful. And a person is, any person is remembered for all good things and for all bad things. Like we know, best of the best teachers and the leaders like Dr. IPJ Abdul Kalam is remembered for uh, his skills, competence, and not only this as a missile man, but more for his humble attitude and attitude for uh, bringing the lakhs of students the awareness about the science and develop these students of the nation. So it is not only Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam I am saying, but you can take any other good examples of the good leaders, and also you can remember the bad people, and I don't want to take the names of those, but society remembers for years together. We remember Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj after 300 more than 350 400 years even after. We remember Lord Shri Krishna. We remember Prabhu Ramchandra after several thousands of years. It is only possible because of the kind of life they lived, the kind of qualities they lived. I personally feel that we as pharmacists, uh, we should live a life with all ethical considerations, all uh, rational thinking in our all practices in years to come, and that is going to give you build the pharmacy profession, improve the face value of the pharmacy profession. You, me, and all together have to contribute this. Uh, After all, doing all these things, we are certainly going to get good money for our good life, uh, for which you don't have to really compromise with the ethical aspects, and you should really live up to the pharmacist oath. I personally request you to read his pharmacist oath once, twice, thrice, and try to understand each of the word from it. And if you could live up to this oath, probably we are going to bring out finest of the finest pharmacists through the educational institutes. You are very lucky to have Bharati Vidyapith's BVDU Pune College of Pharmacy as one of the finest institute, and many good teachers, and you have got good leader as Dr. Atmaram Pawar to mentor you, and you must make good best of the use of the facilities of the teachers, and finally you as students, your friends, as a team, uh, you know uh, uh, have the dreams, bigger dreams in life to live up. Let your dreams be nurtured in this institute, and you actually materialize these dreams after you graduate from this institute. So with these words, I wish your third and final year BPharm is very fruitful and really very rewarding in years to come. And if you need any kind of a help, of course, you are all teachers are there. Be in touch with us. And in pharmacy profession, we all are helping each other, nurturing the pharmacist. And with these words, I feel that I must stop it here, and wish you all the best for your career and your studies at PCP. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Sanjay Sawant. You are a product of PCP. You know the developments of PCP, and as a part of IP also, we are grooming the number of students of Pune. So it is a very right person Dr. Sharvil has selected as a chief guest for this refresher. For some personal reasons, you could not attend it in the first day. But I'm very thankful that today you are here and you guided the students. And secondly, I also welcome our two dynamic alumni for the next function, that is Anand Mote, who was again my just junior in this college, 1 or 2 batch, 94. Yeah, I passed in 1990. in 94. Yeah, at that time we completed in 1992 M.Pharm, and he completed the B.Pharm, and he has a very close association with me as he is working in the hospital, and that my thinking matches with him. He worked in the Sahyadri Hospital in big way, and Aroho Joshi, really he will guide about the next journey in the education. So welcome both of you, and thank you, Sanjay sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for enlightening us and even exploring the areas like medical devices, 3D printing, artificial intelligence, which are going to be a future of pharma. So thank you for enlightening students. Thank you, sir. So next speaker we have with us is Anand Mote, sir. So I'll just briefly introduce him. Anand Mote, sir, has over 23 years of experience in leading healthcare organizations across the healthcare spectrum, such as pharmaceuticals, consumer healthcare, and has a long stint, like last 13 years, he has been working in healthcare. He has started his career in pharmaceuticals with Allergen India before moving to consumer healthcare segment, and then eventually to healthcare services, which is now being recognized as one of the prominent sectors. In healthcare space, he has worked with prominent hospital organizations like Apollo Hospitals, Columbia Asia, Sahyadri Hospitals, and Aster DM Healthcare before moving to Medanta Hospitals, where he is working currently as hospital director. In his previous assignment, he worked as COO with Aster DM Healthcare for one of their medium-sized hospitals in Maharashtra. Primarily a sales and marketing professional, Anand developed keen interest in building profitable hospital operations by developing new revenue sources, identifying and creating newer medical specialties, and building aggressive business development programs. He also has keen interest in developing strong consultant engagement and meaningful engagement with employees for creating conductive working environment, so to build attractive workplace for all employees. Graduated in pharmacy from Pune College of Pharmacy. Yes, he is alumni of PCP, and post-graduated in marketing from University of Pune. Anand also holds certification in Senior General Management Program from Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta. Originally from Pune, Anand has worked across different locations in the country. Besides work, he is a sport enthusiastic, passionate about cricket and soccer, and enjoys all genre of music. Thank you, sir, for joining us today. Over to you, sir.
Hi, good afternoon, and thank you for this introduction. Really, you actually summarized it quite well. So I don't have to brief again. So thank you very much, and I would like to thank my professors who under whom I studied, as well as Dr. Pawar. He mentioned that I have close association. Yes, I keep reaching out to Dr. Pawar for some of the guidance time to time, and college has very fond place in my heart because at the time when we studied pharmacy, Pune College of Pharmacy, which is still, and even that point in time, one of the prominent institutes in pharmacy sector. So, and whatever foundations we've had, which helped me in my career, was actually Pune College of Pharmacy was the reason for that particular foundation. So, I was listening to, when I joined, I was listening to Professor Dr. Sanjay. And since he has already spoken a lot about the competence skills that each of you need to develop, what I'll do briefly is I'll tell you as to careers that I've gone through in terms of what are the industries, because that's something that you need to know. And I will spend my time in terms of talking to you about the hospital sector, because as Sharvil mentioned, it is becoming a prominent sector. Yes, it is becoming a prominent sector. Healthcare is becoming very important, and it is becoming a very, very professional career option for most of the students or most of the career aspirants. So I'll talk about hospitals also. Generally, let me go back to the journey when we started our careers. 20 odd years back, the career sector is not as bloomed, as not varied, or not as complex as it is today. Today a person can do a career in anything: education sector, education, technology. You have retail technology, and you have healthcare, you have hospitals, you have FMCG, you have consumer healthcare, and you have people can start own entrepreneurial journey. There's restaurants online. So there are multiple options. But when someone graduated, maybe early 2000 or prior to that, late 90s, when one would pass out of pharmacy, you had options in terms of that you go to do your master's in US, where you can continue your technology journey. You do Pharm, and you kind of continue your journey in pharmaceutical on the production side, on the research side. Some of us would choose a different path, do your management and explore career in business management, sales and marketing. And obviously the lucky few would get a placement in a different industry, which is not related to pharmacy. I mean, somebody I know, there are a lot of our alumni or my colleagues or people who studied with me or passed out prior to me have also explored careers in FMCG sector. So those are the kind of things which were available that point in time, So naturally, so I did management and started with pharmaceuticals. Over the period, I've realized that yes, how it is important to have a good pharmacy knowledge to be a successful in getting your pharmaceutical career, right? Because that's where I think besides your competence, besides your knowledge, besides how you deliver on the job, what is your basic knowledge also played a very, very important role. But now how things are changed. There are, you would see a successful engineer running operations of a bank. There would be a successful, there would be a chartered accountant running FMCG company. And this is the changes which is happening. So what advantage the pharmacy education gives it to you? Pharmacy education essentially gives you a foothold in, on the pharmaceutical side, which you're all aware. But at the same time, I believe, and I firmly believe, the education actually it kind of prepared us on the core technology side, which actually helped me foray my career into various allied industries. I was successful in pharmaceuticals. At the same time, I managed to move to a consumer healthcare. The consumer healthcare, which is something from a business perspective, or from a business management perspective, it is slightly different from a pharmaceuticals. It's a direct to consumer kind of relationship, direct to what we call as how we reach out to consumers directly, and hence that kind of career opportunities. And at the same time, it did help me to find my ways into healthcare. So having chosen pharmacy as your career, you have done yourself a extremely good, you've given yourself extremely good chance. Technologically, you're sound. You are now have multiple career opportunities in front of you. You will continue to either do your technology journey. You would do pharmaceuticals, post-graduation, do doctorate, get into research. And then there are a lot of people who actually would travel to US. There are multiple career opportunities in terms of pharmacovigilance, which Professor Dr. Sanjay was talking about, pharmacoeconomics, outcomes, research. So these are the opportunities you would continue to do. Within India, there are a lot of organizations who would want a good pharmacy student to do a lot of research. And I'm very glad that PCP actually is made good foray into clinical research. I mean, when I was working for Sahyadri hospitals, PCP actually come back and did a lot of clinical trials for us, which were quite useful for us to take certain drug-related decisions. So you have those career opportunities. And there are people who would make the career into a business management, a management side of the business. So these sort of options would be available to you. And now you would have realized in last 20 years, to be precise, Indian healthcare scenario, which is called as hospitals, which is changing and gonna complete transformation. I mean, what it was to what it is now has undergone a tremendous change. And you would see a regular, you in your early days or when you were growing up, you probably would not think of going to would not think of going to a particular hospital because your nearby family physician was someone who was actually giving healthcare to you. But now the things are changed. Eventually, moment there is a prevalence of diseases. Moment there is a prevalence of regular health related requirements started catching up, and that's where it was needed to have a very systemized, very formal, very structured healthcare system to present in the country to deliver healthcare. And that's where you have seen the hospitals started getting more formal, more structured. At the same time, laws came into being, because then when the healthcare services are getting, patients are taking healthcare services, it was required someone to actually monitor that, ensure that there is a consistency, ensure that there is a strict watch, ensure that they're following certain guidelines. And outcome of that, a result of that, you have a very strong healthcare system which is developed in the country. There are a lot of big healthcare setups in India now who are giving services to Indian population, which is par or best compared to any best economy or any best country in the world. I mean, think of those days when people would need to travel abroad for doing certain procedure. Things are gone. Rather, India is the country which attracting foreign nationals into Indian market for hospital services. So this is a huge change which is been witnessed, and then you would see it is becoming a very important career options for people who are related to, who are medical allied industries. I mean, there are doctors who are a part of hospitals. Obviously, they are important because they are the ones who's going to service you. But apart from doctors, you have other allied pathies such as BHMS, BMS doctors who are acquiring management degrees and getting into administration of hospitals or management of hospital. At the same time, you have a good chance in terms of pharmacy students who also acquiring necessary hospital administration experience by doing MHAs or MBA in hospital administration related area and get into management of a hospital side, besides doing a routine and regular work like hospital pharmacy, right? So there are careers aplenty. As to how you take it up, it's something that you'll have to visualize yourself and choose your options. So now, what are the options available? What I will do, Dr. Sharvil, is I will kind of quickly complete my sort of discussion in next 5-10 minutes. I would rather like to take some questions for 8 to 10 minutes, so that there would be a lot of interaction. People can ask me questions rather than me doing just a monologue. Is that okay?
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Right. So, coming back to hospital, what are the careers that options pharmacy student can have? So typically when we were graduated, I have a few of my colleagues who joined straight away into hospital pharmacy. Hospital pharmacy, yes, it's a big option. Abroad, when at that one time, hospital pharmacy is one of the important functions because they wanted a qualified pharmacist who has a knowledge of drug interactions, etc., to dispense the medicine. But then that function was not then evolved so much, which is now evolving. So you have a hospital pharmacy as a career option, but then hospital pharmacy is just one part of entire hospital operations and entire hospital management is concerned. So do not restrict your site only to hospital pharmacy. Besides hospital pharmacy, what happens is you have something which is developing. You would have read, most of you would have read in the recently. There is a lot of importance, a lot of focus has been given on antibiotic surveillance because of resistance being developed for antibiotics. That is becoming a huge area for most of the corporate hospitals. So one can have a good career option there in terms of clinical pharmacist, someone who really works with top-notch clinicians, and you have courses in PCP like Pharm D. So some I've seen some of your students are here working with me, and they have an ability to work with most of the top clinicians and tell them that what could be a possible drug interactions, which could be a possible chances of doses, what kind of doses can be given for in case of high antibiotics, etc., and how one would kind of restrict usage of drugs. So the clinical pharmacist is also one option. Hospital pharmacy is one option. Obviously, pharmacists are being preferred in the hospital on the administration side. Reason, you already have a knowledge and affinity or orientation towards medicine side. So it becomes easier for you to kind of get yourself familiarized with various clinical treatment patterns, various disease patterns, and it is easy, not difficult. For me, it was kind of easy than my colleague who was an engineer. I mean, I must tell you, there are engineers who MBA who also run a hospital. There are chartered accountants who actually, but then just to get into core operations, it was easier for me because I was exposed in my pharmacy career to various disease patterns, and it was kind of then helpful for me. So eventually, you also have those kind of options available for you. And then once you, end of the day, think of this, that irrespective of anything, hospital or healthcare industry is going to be here to survive, because there are various ways in which government making healthcare accessible and available to everyone, because of which there is a requirement of a quality healthcare even in smaller cities. Think of it that one would have never thought the tier 3 or tier 4 or smaller market or smaller city would have a highly complex or ready or hospital which is available in a smaller cities, which is the case now. You have hospitals available in smaller cities as well. The fact is that healthcare has become accessible to everyone. Government has various government programs because of which the ability of patients or ability of people to avail those healthcare services has increased manifold. It's gone are the days when people didn't have money and they felt that, no, I can't take this particular treatment for this particular disease because those options are not available with me. But now you have government schemes, you have government programs, you have insurance availability, and generally overall capability of people in terms of on the economy side has also gone up. So eventually that many opportunities are there for healthcare industry to survive for a long period of time. So this industry is here to stay. And if I look back, I would see this particular industry is growing in excess of 10% plus CAGR, that is compounded annual growth rate. It has been growing continuously. This is the only industry apart from few selected industries such as internet, such as consumer internet, etc., have actually grown during COVID pandemic. In the pandemic, when most of the businesses actually shut their doors, they had to kind of close it because economies all of a sudden options are closed on them. There are few industries grown. Hospital is one of them. When COVID started, initially hospital also were not aware as to how does one go about treating COVID patients. But once that fact has established, it was hospital and healthcare industry also helped people, also help patient at the same time. There's also growth in the hospital industry. So healthcare industry is kind of is there for to stay and for to grow, and that actually would offer you a good career opportunities apart from a regular focus that you will have in terms of pharmaceutical careers as well as your research career. So Sharvil, then I will take a question because I can go on and on, but then if around 8 to 10 questions, I'll be able to answer someone's questions in very specifically.
Okay, sir. Okay. So students, if you have questions, feel free to ask.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Right.
Yeah. So, like, I know my series can be a bit like weird as well, but like, so isn't clinical pharmacy job is supposed to be for the PharmD students? Like, more preference people give to PharmD students in the hospital pharmacy as well.
No, are you saying that that's a option available only for PharmD students? Is
So
that what
I'm
you
just
said?
asking because I'm not very sure because all that I've heard is like PharmD students are like preferred over the clinical pharmacy more, and then they have choice for hospital pharmacy as well because in their 5th and 6th year they usually practice that. And
Correct.
B.Pharm students don't. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. So there's a preference, obviously, yes. But I would say that now this is a relatively new area for most of the hospitals. Most of the hospitals don't even have a clinical pharmacist on their rolls. Okay. So now all of them are realizing, and as long as now, when the hospital started, who were the head of the hospitals? Doctors. If you go to old era government hospitals, you had a doctors. Now you have someone like a non-doctor like me who's actually heading a hospital. So there is an evolution. People over the period will realize that a pharmacist who actually bring knowledge, who may not be a may not be a clinical pharmacist, a PharmD student, but have a good knowledge of drug interactions and can add value, can also take up that role. Okay, so it is preferred, but it is not restricted only to PharmD students. That's how I can see it, right? And don't focus your sights only to those functions. Those functions are one small part of entire hospital management. So it's just that once you get into hospitals, you would be preferred more because being a pharmacist, you will have an affinity and understanding of drugs, understanding of various diseases, right? I hope that answers your questions.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
And so one more like question. So we can like all the PharmD students in their final year can go in for internships at hospital pharmacies as well.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. They also work in actually within hospital operations, as in they work with hospital in departments, and actually they oversee not only a pharmacy, but they also oversee as to what other drugs have been prescribed. And if there's a good person, and I've seen really good clinical pharmacists, luckily from our colleges, who actually were very, very strong in restricting antibiotic usage. So I was very glad that someone who actually did and actually have courage to go to a top-notch intensivist to go and tell, sir, this is a very restricted antibiotic use. So can you kind of cut down its usage? So that who gave that particular person that particular power, the knowledge, and obviously so that can be developed over the period, and not necessarily it can actually be. I mean, I am of opinion that those things can be learned on the job, and one can still acquire those knowledge while you're working in the hospital, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, I have one question. B.Pharm students, what skills they can acquire or any course they can go for so that they will get into this like hospital administration kind of jobs?
Yeah.
Any
So,
skills?
there are 2-3 ways, Shavil, to be honest. Like the way I've actually grown, I have moved from business management side to now I'm a CEO, because then over the period, business also is becoming important for the hospitals. So I did my general MBA. But now there are very specialized hospital administration courses which are available, which is called which is Masters in Healthcare Administration, which is MHA, or there is a MBA in Hospital Management. Those courses are there, which actually makes your entry more easier. It's just that general MBA gives you. It's just that now what is your focus? So when you're going to focus only on hospitals, then MHA becomes very, very important for you. But then you're restricting your chances of career only to hospitals. Whereas your general MBA gives you a general knowledge. Then you have most of the other options available, like other industries as well as hospital. That's the difference. But mind you, there are a lot of good MHA institutes are there in the country. Like there's one in Indore, which is actually is as good as, and there are a lot of students there who are very bright students. I happened to interview them, and I thought they were quite good. There is MHA Institute, which Tata Institute runs in Mumbai, as well as there is IHMR, which actually runs very good program in Jaipur. I believe there is the other Symbiosis runs a very good program in Pune. So these courses are available, which actually can help you make entry into hospitals if you're really focused on hospitals.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Anybody else having any questions?
So if not, then probably Shavil, I need to sign off for some other meeting. Okay.
Yes.
I will be available. I mean, you have my contact. If anybody wants to reach out any point of time, I'll be more than happy to do so.
Sure,
right?
sir. Thank you for sparing your valuable time and guiding students.
Anytime.
You explored a new area where these
Right.
students can enter into.
Correct.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So our next speaker we have with us is Aroha Joshi. So I give now charge to Vidhi. Vidhi, just introduce Aroha and then we can go on.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So, Mr. Aroha Joshi is a B.Pharm graduate from Pune College of Pharmacy in the year 2017. He is currently a PhD graduate at Mezenski University, Graz, Austria. He completed his master's in pharmaceutical research from Berlin. He worked as a research technician at Monasterium Laboratory Skin and Hair Research Solutions for almost 1.8 years. He was a trainee analyst for 4 months at Pharma Ace. Apart from his academics, he was the class representative as well as the cricket team captain. He was also the team leader for NSS for almost 2 years. He was an online volunteer for eVidya Lok Trust, where he worked as a teacher and taught science and English to the class 5th students via Skype. So, welcome, sir, to the conversation. Over to you, sir, now.
Thanks a lot, Vidhi. I would like to share my screen, if that's fine. Are you able to see it?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. Yeah. First of all, I feel really humbled to be speaking after such dignitaries like Professor Sanjay Sawant and Anand Mote sir. And I would like to congratulate Professor Atmaram Pawar for being the principal now and starting so many new initiatives, which I really think are you students should be lucky about. Also, thanks to Dr. Shavil Patil sir for inviting me to this talk. I'm really glad to be giving a talk. So today I'll speak mostly about study and work opportunities in Germany. I'll be speaking about my journey and also the application guidelines. Yep. So I realized that there are actually two audiences who are hearing my lecture. The first audience, not everybody wants to go to Germany to study. So I'll introduce them to my career path and I'll just tell my journey to them. For the second audience, I've been receiving quite a lot of messages for the students who want to know how to apply to Germany, because it's not very sought after path. So I'll give you guys an overview on how to apply to Germany and what are the opportunities there. So I'll start with my first part, which is my journey. So I came from Karad, which is to the south of Maharashtra, and it was the first time when I moved to a city, and I did my bachelor's, as you all know, at PCP. And I think it's a perfect place for your overall development. Yeah, there are a lot of memories associated with this place. First of all, I'm really grateful to PCP for the competent faculty it has, to all the teachers who have helped me to gain a lot of knowledge and also shaping me. I really think that what I am today is mostly a part of their teachings. But it was not just knowledge that helped me. I was involved in various activities during my bachelor's. One of the key obstacle was I was an introvert and I had to overcome stage fear. I think during my studies, I got enough opportunities to actually overcome my stage fear, participating in cultural activities, uh, organizing presentations. I also improved some of my organization skills uh, by organizing several talks from dignitaries. I think one of the most important factors were to develop people skills. I remember when I was a part of NSS, I had to deal with a lot of people, and you develop communication skills, how to get things done from people, and also uh, to understand their problems and work on them. I was a captain of PCP for the Pharmacy Cup in cricket. I I don't feel ashamed to tell you that I actually guided the team and lost all the matches, but I think it was a great learning experience for me. And some of these leadership skills which I developed there, I can use now. So I would like to encourage you guys to participate in the events, try new things and challenge yourself. But apart from just academic and professional things, it has given me some of my closest friends who are in touch and lots of memories. And also my fiance is a fellow PCPN, and I met her in PCP. So I'm really glad to have studied here. So after my bachelor's, I actually worked, as Vidhi said, for a short in India itself. But after then I moved to Berlin, Germany, where I did my master's in pharmaceutical research from 2017 to 2019. It was a research based master program and was taught completely in English. So everyone thinks that there are only German programs available, but no, I was taught in English. The most important factor is that I paid no tuition fees at all during my education. The the costs were only my living costs. There were several elective subjects, so it was dependent on me on what I want to study. You had subjects from physics, chemistry, biology, several subjects, and you select what you want. It was a lot of practical lab work. You spent almost the day in the labs, and mostly it was self study. uh, yeah, you overcome many problems just by self study. So I got an opportunity to work in drug delivery and pharmacology lab at the research group of Professor Hedrich. And I would like to also tell you what I worked on in short. So basically for my research projects, isolated some of the skin cells from humans. I grew them in vitro and prepared an artificial 3D skin in vitro. This skin was then used for pharmacological studies of drugs and cosmetics. And this is an upcoming trend, and various companies are now giving this artificial skin to many cosmetic companies. The main advantage of this is that it replaces all the animal experiments. Apart from this, I also worked in drug delivery lab where we synthesized one polymeric nanogel that can deliver drugs within the skin. As you can see, this is the skin transverse section, and it has penetrated the drug into the deeper layers of skin. We published an article on this. So what were the main learnings here in during my master's is that the problem solving is more important than the knowledge. Also, of course, knowledge is also important, but you have to solve the problems with your own creativity. And if you are interested in research and want to know what is research exactly, there is a beautiful lecture given by Manas Agrawal at PCP itself. He is also a fellow PCPN, and you should definitely hear its lecture out. It's on YouTube. After my master's, I immediately got an opportunity to work in a startup in Münster, Germany. It was called as Monasterium Laboratory Skin and Hair Research, and it was a contract research organization. So basically, it took research projects from several pharmaceutical and cosmetical companies in Europe, and my role was to be organize the lab and conduct research experiments. It was a great learning curve for me. I basically worked on several anti-inflammatory drugs for skin diseases, anti-hair fall drugs, and also some natural compounds and extracts that help hair growth and strength. This is, for example, an image of hair follicle. So what I learned as a part of being a startup, I understood how it works and how it grows. But I was not satisfied with my work. I had a permanent contract, but I wanted something more. I wanted to perform research independently. So I decided to move to Austria in Graz, mm, to pursue my PhD in dermatology, where I'm currently working. I'll be working to develop a therapy for skin disease called atopic dermatitis. My future goals are to become a scientist at some point, and at a later stage, I want to establish my own research group, and I also want to start a startup and be an entrepreneur, and I wish to do it in India. Now I'll come to the second part for the second audience, which is studying in Germany. I think your first option is most of the students always sought after is US, but there are many upcoming troubles. It's the cost, also the visa issues after work, and therefore I think studying in Germany is a really great opportunity for you guys. It's a path which is less traveled, I guess. So what do you know about Germany? I think you know that they are fancy car manufacturers. This Volkswagen, Audi, BMW, all these cars you see on the road, and you see these are really fancy cars and they have been manufactured in Germany. You know that they are always punctual. And yes, they are actually. And I faced a lot of trouble at the initial stages. And you know that they love beer. But what you don't know is also that they are home to several pharmaceutical giants, be it Bayer, Boehringer Ingelheim, or BioNTech, which recently developed this mRNA vaccine. It provides free education in some of the top universities, as it's a socialist economy. And currently, they are facing a lot of scarcity of skilled workforce. So what you should see here are a lot of opportunities, but you don't know when to start, how to prepare, and how to apply, which was also my thing, and I've tried to figure it out on my own and with some of my help from my brother. So when to start? It's always better to start earlier. Here I'll shortly explain you what you should be doing in your third year and fourth year. What you see here is what should be your priority, what are the tasks you should be doing, and each block here represents 2 months. So this was the problem which I faced. I didn't know what to do at what time during my third and final year. So I have tried to prepare a short list. So first and foremost, you should be shortlisting courses and prepare an Excel file during your first 6 months of your third year. I'll show you later how you can do this. So in order to go to US or Germany, you will either need an English proficiency test, which is IELTS or TOEFL. And this you should complete by the end of the third year. At the same time, you will have to give either GRE or GPAT, and you should be preparing also for that. One key requirement, I would say, to studying in Germany is German language. Not to studying, but working. You will realize after you graduate, when you want a job, it's always better to have some German language skills. So there are different levels in German language, and I would recommend to at least go to A2 before applying. And this would take around 2 hours, 6 hours of every week you will need, and you have to spend some time on it. On an academic level, you should mostly in the third year, you should go to understanding the basics. Then the thesis project. I see a lot of people don't actually concentrate on their thesis project, but you should look after it like this. It's the only thing that you are allowed to choose for yourself, and you should actually do it very. You should get involved in thesis project. Apart from this, you can also convert the thesis project into a review if one of your professors is ready to do it with you. And I would recommend to attend all the lectures so that you save some time of studying it again in the evening. On a personal level, I think you should work on your spoken English from the third year itself. Coming from a small town, I was not really good at English, and I think what I've developed is by just speaking with one of my many friends from Kerala, and they always used to speak English, and that's how I grew my spoken English skills. Also, you should spend some time on the soft skills: how to prepare a presentation, how to write a CV, and how to write an email. You will get everything on YouTube, but you should definitely look after it. At the same time, I think during this COVID times, it's been really important that you also take care of your physical and mental health. This is somewhat less talked about in India, but you should spend some time for leisure and enjoy with friends and make some memories. Coming to the second point, how to prepare, how to search for the programs in Germany, how to write a CV for studies in Germany, and how to write a letter of motivation. I'll try to cover these parts in the upcoming slides. So to search for programs in Germany is actually very easy. There is an official government website called German Academic Exchange Service, or Deutsche Akademischer Austauschdienst. It's www.daad.de. On this, you can go to the international programs, which are all in English. And I just did this search yesterday. If you type pharmacy, you will get about 21 results for your criteria, as you can see here at different places. Apart from this, there are several other courses such as medical diagnostic technologies, MBAs, molecular medicine, and as Anand Mote sir, this hospital management courses. I know few friends who are doing this, and you should try to look into this, try to understand what are they, and then apply to them. So as I said, for the public universities, most of them it's free of cost, and for some of the private universities, they depend on the courses, but the fees are still quite less as compared to that of US. So if you click on the courses, you will get all the details you require. You will get the degree, teaching language, how many semesters will this go, what is the application deadlines, what are the tuition fees. It's none, as you can see here, and the description. Also, you can give the requirements, costs, and fundings. Yeah. So how to write a CV? I think I struggled at this part a lot because I didn't know how to write a CV, and I never questioned why we are writing the CV the same way everyone is writing. So I think there are no strict rules how a CV should be. So, but there are a few things that you should definitely consider. Your CV should be readable and very orderly. It should explain everything uh, nicely. You should try to use the same font everywhere and enlist only what is important, and try to write only bullet points. Yep. You can take a screenshot of this for if you want. Yeah, so that while preparing it, it is helpful. You should always use a professional photo with formals. So it doesn't mean that you have to buy a suit and click a photo. Even if it's a formal shirt, that's enough. The order, this is one thing in Germany, it's the opposite way. It's from recent to past. So you always write what you're doing currently at the first, followed by what you have done previously. So your bachelor studies will come at the top, and then your 12th marks, 10th marks. Yeah. Yeah. You also should mention some references. So how to write a motivation letter for Germany? So in US, I know you have to use really fancy words. You have to make it sound really unnatural. But you have to realize that in Germany, English is their second language. So you do not need to use any fancy words. It should not be more than 1 page because they will never read it. It should be as short as possible. The font size should not be less than 10. It should be readable. And you can use some of these fonts like Arial, Times New Roman, or Calibri, which are accepted everywhere. And never copy a motivation letter and let it sound as natural as possible. And just check for the grammatical errors at the end. So I'll give you an outline of what it should look like. So at the beginning, there should be an address to whom are you writing this letter. And then you should start with opening lines like, with great interest, I'm applying for this position, etc. In the second paragraph, you should write your personal background in short and which is not contained in your CV. You should also mention your achievements, grades, etc. And in the third paragraph, you should write why are you applying for the specific course. Finally, at the bottom, you should write date and place and sign it. Finally, how to apply. So how to keep a track of your applications, how to arrange and send the documents, and how will the processing takes place. So during my applications, I prepared an Excel sheet where I wrote all the course names, the universities, the research topics, the admission requirements, fees and duration, the website addresses and status. Like if I have applied, if I have gotten up acceptance or rejection, you should mention it here. This way this will help to keep a track of the applications. This is the part which I was telling about to do at the first 6 months of your third year. So there is a peculiar way of arranging and sending the documents. The university will ask you to send your documents, and it is taken that you should arrange them in such an order. For example, first comes the application form that has been given to you by your university. Second would be the CV. Third would be the letter of motivation. Fourth would be at least 2 recommendation letters. I think all our professors are really helpful with this, and if possible, let them write it for you. You should attach certificates and transcripts. You should try to get the transcripts as early as possible. It takes a bit of time to get these transcripts done. And you can just authorize them by any local notary, and this should be enough. Finally, you will need the language certificates, IELTS and Goethe, which should be at the end of your documents. And you can ship them via DHL. It's always better. It costs a bit, about 100 rupees. It's in Karve Road, but it's safe and it reaches the place. I tried to send via a local agency, but it never reached there, and I lost one of my applications. So how will the application process takes place? So when you are applying for a public universities, the post will first go to a UniAssist. It's a government body that checks if you meet all the application requirements. If they think that some of the documents are missing, they will revert back to you and you have to supply them the documents. Once they check all your documents, they pass it to public universities. And the public universities then either email you or mail you with acceptance or rejection. For private university, the process is rather simple. You just have to email them or mail them the documents, and they'll get you an acceptance or rejection certificate. So what are the job opportunities after masters in Germany? The best thing about Germany is that there is a stay back visa for job search. you get almost 1.5 years with 20 hours of work permit. This work permit is for doing some minor jobs like working in McDonald's or something, and you get enough money to cover all your expenses. What I've realized that to get into some of the good institutions after masters, for job, of course, you will need some proficiency, German proficiency, and you will have to work on your German when you are studying during your masters. You can expect about 30,000 to 40,000 euros as your initial salary, which with a higher tax. It's a socialist economy, so there is a higher tax in Germany as compared to US. Also, there are no hospital charges, and you will get money if you lose the job at later stages. Also, there are 30 days of annual holidays. Yeah. With this, I would like to thank you for patiently listening to me. And you can reach me on LinkedIn or Gmail. Uh, just write me a mail while you are connecting with me, and I'll always help you if you have any specific questions. Yeah. Now I would like to take any questions from the crowd.
Thank you, Aroh. First of all, it was really nice presentation. You explained everything what a student will expect, when
Thank you.
he or she will be in the third year. I remember you used to play a pharmacy cricket tournament. Okay? So those
Thank you.
memories were cherished when you were talking. But I really liked the presentation you gave, the slides you prepared, and it will really help students, and those who are planning to go out of the country for higher studies. Your presentation will really help them.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Dr. Patil sir. Yeah. Are there any questions?
Yes, if anybody is having any questions, go ahead.
Hello, sir. What is the eligibility to get there, and I mean, what is needed actually to get selected over there as per education and academic studies?
So as I explained, mostly your bachelor's degree is enough. And what they specifically look after is your proficiency, language proficiency, your grades, your academic grades as well. Also, as I said, the letter of motivation matters the most. So you should be as true as possible, and while writing the letter of motivation. Yeah, these are the criterias, I would say.
Is there any cutoff or anything?
No specific cutoffs in Germany. They actually check the overall candidate. There will be also an interview after. They will call you for an interview where they also check. Yeah, for your how to evaluate you personally. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
And what are the names of the universities which cost no tuition fee? Can you just suggest any?
So all the public universities, there are many in each German state. There are public universities, and they are for. So it's been a long time actually. I don't remember all of them. For example, my university, Freie University, University of Aachen, University of Düsseldorf is what I know. All of these have courses in different pharmaceutical regions like pharmaceutical analysis, industrial pharmacy, etc.
Okay, thank you.
No worries.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So there's someone from the crowd named Anurima, and she has asked about the living cost and climate in Germany.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good question. So I would say for the living costs, it costs around 7 to 8 lakhs per year. Yes. But the good thing is that not every program is intensive. So my program was quite intensive, but the other programs are not intensive. Every student in Germany has to work for himself because it's a quite of culture here, and they do it in the evening. And you earn enough to get through the month. So yeah, so I think if your course is not very intensive, you can actually earn enough to go through the year, and you won't spend that much. Yeah, you are also, like as I said, you are during your studies you are allowed to work for 20 hours. This can be McDonald's or any other jobs like Lieferando while delivering food. You can do this. I personally did a job in McDonald's. Yeah.
So do they consider distance learning or we have to physically go there?
uh, uh, I don't think there is a distance learning concept uh, in Germany, but I'm not aware of this. If you can check in the DAD website, which I told, you will find if there is an option.
Then how did you manage to work together? I mean, studies also and work also.
Uh, yeah, as I said, my program was quite intensive. I didn't do it for the entire year, but I know other programs where you can do it. So I think it's possible. You don't have to work the whole week every day. You just have to work for 20 hours throughout the week.
Oh, okay. I thought
Yeah.
you were talking about 2 or 3 days of it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So there's another question from Sia. She asks, what about the job opportunities in India after completing the courses in Germany? Are those students prioritized in Indian companies?
This is hard to tell, to be honest. Um, yeah, I never actually tried to apply to India after my master's, so I don't know. Mm, but I think if you can, so in India, I've realized the companies always seek after candidates uh, who have the potential. So if you can, it would be the same process for you. You have to give the interview, you have to pass the test, you have to give the interview, and I'm very sure that you will get a job. If you want to come back to India after studies, you should get a job. Yeah.
Right, I hope this answers a question. So there's another question. Can you explain about the block account needed to go to Germany? That's from Vijay.
Okay, so yeah, as I said, you have to prove that you have 8 lakhs to the to German consulate for this. So I personally took it from my father, this 8 lakhs rupees, which and you have to create a block account. So it doesn't mean that you have to use all of it, but it's just that to as an surety for the visa that you can sustain yourself for a year. So for this block account, you can go to Kotak or to the Deutsche Bank in Pune itself. They will tell you all the process. So there is, I did it in Kotak. It's just opposite, just to the right direction to Durga Cafe. Yeah, it's there. So you can go to them and ask them what are the requirements. Yeah,
So basically, it is like kind of a security amount that we
exactly,
used to have. And so, what
exactly.
about the students like who can't get like 8 lakh just to show like
Yeah.
if some students don't have that much amount to show to the universities, what are the alternate options for them?
Okay, this I'm not very sure about. Like I remember there are education loans and everything is available. So as compared to US, I think 8 lakhs is quite less amount. And y- if you can take loans and you can just put it into account, then it should be enough. Yeah, but if if anyone specific wants to know how to take loans, I can refer to them some of my friends who studied in US and arranged their loans. So I can help with that.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. And so there's one more question. Do you feel post-COVID the German government still encourages imparting free education to international students?
Yes, I think Germany has one of the highest economies throughout the world. It has an economy as close to India with a population that just of Maharashtra. So you can imagine it has a lot, and it gives a lot of money to education. Every student money is paid by the government. So I think it will still continue to do so. Yeah.
All right, sir. And so,
Yeah.
do you feel language barrier as a problem for general living in Germany?
No, for general living, I don't think it's a barrier. For work purposes, it's obvious. Like you will be communicating with German people, so they would expect to know their language, and that's what also I faced a bit of problem initially, but I think it's a growing curve, and now I can communicate in German quite fine with colleagues. But I think for work, yes. For studies, no.
Okay, all right, sir. And so, like, if someone wants to go to Germany and he or she doesn't know that language, can he or she like learn simultaneously while studying in German, like in German
Y-
universities? Can it be done simultaneously?
Yes, it can be done. So every university provides free language courses. So I actually did some free language courses in my university when I was studying in the evening. Yeah, this is can be done, but then it becomes a bit difficult to arrange everything. Like if you are also working, if you are also studying, and then also the language, then it becomes a bit of problem. So you might have to give up one of them, like not the studies, but the work part.
Okay. Yes. All right.
Sir, how many students are admitted from India to a single university of Germany?
Uh, it's a very this I cannot answer. Like it depends on the potential of the candidate. But of course, I don't think if there is a batch of 17, they'll admit all Indians. They try to keep an international environment. So there would be a limited quota for Asian students, is what I think.
Okay, sir.
So we have another question. Like, can we expect a PR after completing studies and securing employment? Can we apply for PR after that?
Yes. So initially, there is a limit. So if you can, so you will obviously get a visa till you have work. And if you cross a certain amount of salary, then you can get a PR status. They call it blue card here, and I don't know exactly what it has, but I think it has 5 years of stay, and if you lose your job, you will get money from the government.
Okay, all right, sir. And so, what is the difference in the master's education in Germany and India, so that we should opt for German education? Like, what are the advantages of opting for German education?
Yes, I think one of the important factors is the facilities that it provides. Like Germany is one of the top countries in research, and specifically if you want to do research, Germany is the best option, I would say, because they have all the top-notch instruments. You get an hands-on training in the lab work. They invest a lot of money on you. So I think these are some of the advantages of studying in Germany.
Okay, all right, sir. Thank you so much. I hope this answers all of your questions asked, guys. And so Anurima says that thank you very much for all the answers. That was very useful information that you shared.
Thanks a
Aroha,
lot.
one more thing.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Aroha, I would like to
Yes,
know
sir.
what is the current time there. So at what time you
Uh,
stay?
it's not that different. So it's 3.5 hours. I'm ahead. I'm before 3.5 hours. So it's 10 o'clock now. 10
Okay,
a.m.
okay. So I thought
Yes.
like, you have been joining this session, midnight or something or what.
No, 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 sir. It's just dark here because it's autumn.
Oh,
Yeah, but it's not that much difference
great,
as
great.
US.
Thank you for sharing your valuable time.
No worries. Thanks a lot for inviting.
Yeah, Vidhi, you just go ahead with the vote of thanks.
Yes, sir. Sure. respected and most distinguished chief guest of the day, Dr. Sanjay Sawant, sir. Our speakers, Mr. Anand Mote, sir, and Mr. Aroh Joshi, respected principal, Dr. Atmaram Pawar, respected vice principals, Dr. Varsha Pokharkar, and Dr. L. Satyanarayan, our honorable professors, and my dear friends. It seems to be a great honor to propose the vote of thanks to all who have helped us in making this seminar a resounding success. First of all, I would like to give my hearty vote of thanks to our chief guest, Dr. Sanjay Sawant, sir, for gracing today's seminar. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for joining. That was a very thought-provoking and interesting address. I would like to thank our distinguished speakers, Mr. Anand Mote and Mr. Aroh Joshi, for making this seminar meaningful and interesting. I would like to express a deep gratitude to our principal, Dr. Atmaram Pawar, for his presence in this seminar. I would also thank our Alumni Association President, Dr. Sharul Patil, sir, for his guidance and support. I am happy to express a vote of thanks to all the people behind the scenes who made the seminar a grand success with their motivation and dedication. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. Until next